welcome to another episode of Tell. Today is our second episode of the Learn segment, and we are going to talk about influencer versus influencee. So, who is an influencer and who is an influencee, and why are we talking about it? What is the significance of knowing this in our daily lives? So, like you all know, an influencer is somebody who influences you to buy their products or their belief systems or their ideas. And an influencee is somebody who readily buys them without even a second thought.
Without really needing them as such. But when it comes to a product, it isn't that much of an issue. Yes.
You don't need it, you keep it aside.
Yeah.
So usually we go for these products that are sold by celebrities.
Or sports players or whatever.
So that's an aspirational space for us. We want to be in the same league. So, So without even knowing, we get influenced by them because we have put them on a pedestal and we buy the product. And then you realize, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? This is just adding to the clutter in my house. Now, what happens to the belief systems that are sold to you?
That's where I would say, danger comes into the picture.
Yeah.
Where in a belief system, it is not about just buying the product and keeping it aside and saying, oh, I might not need it. But when you buy a belief system, it can affect your entire life, your relationships, your financial situation. It can affect a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
And when that is so important, you need to be extra careful what belief systems you really are buying into.
Yeah, whether you need to be an influencee or an influencer.
Yeah.
So
do you want to let yourself get influenced by that particular belief or idea that's being sold to you or not?
Yeah.
Now that's something that you have to take a call.
Yeah. So with everything that you choose, we urge you to ask this question: am I being an influencee here or am I being an influencer? So do I need to buy this belief? Because beliefs span across all areas of your lives, starting from your upbringing, and you buy things from people around you, and parents buy ideas about bringing up children from people around them. The society sells you a lot of ideas, and you need to be aware of what beliefs or ideas you're buying and how much it works for you. It might work for another person with his son or daughter, but it may not work for you. So you need to be aware at every moment the ideas and beliefs that are being sold to you. You're bombarded with so many ideas, sometimes you even get baffled. So you need to just pause and ask this question.
So if you've ever got bought into an idea or a belief when it is about a lot of people saying, oh, this is really great, you really have to do this, you have to do this particular course, or you have to buy this particular idea, or whatever it is. When you have peer pressure, when you have a lot of people doing it and you feel like, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong, don't buy into it.
There is an aspect of conformity there.
Yeah. So what we do is we try to conform to a general
group of people.
Yeah, a thought pattern, or if a number of people are buying into something, we say, oh, there must be something important. It's just like suddenly out of the blue, you find about 10 people looking up into the sky and you're like, oh, what's up there, right? We all do that because we want to conform, but those are not really harmful to you as such. It isn't something that's going to be detrimental to your life if you look up into the sky. But when you buy a belief system and you're trying to conform to somebody which you don't feel it within your body that it is resonating with you right now. Maybe if I do it enough, it'll resonate with you. It's just like probably smoking a cigarette. In the initial stages of smoking a cigarette, you're going to cough, you're going to probably puke it out, but you still want to keep trying it till you conform to the rest of the friend circle where everyone is smoking, so even I'd like to smoke and I want to be part of that group. Or even when you drink, you do the same thing.
So especially when you put people on a pedestal, it's very easy to buy ideas from them. Yes. So you need to know that you are not them, they are not you. All of us are unique beings, and nobody is higher than you.
Yeah, and you need to make sure that everybody is on equal platform except for you. You are on that pedestal. You stand on that pedestal and choose from that pedestal who and what ideas you want to take. Don't let others stand above you and say, you know what, I know more than you, I am better than you, so this is what is going to work for you. That's when most of us make a mistake in our lives of buying something that somebody's selling you.
Reflect on what is being sold and then choose for yourself. Ask, is this something that I really need? And then go forward.
And understand one thing, that nobody will ever know what you need in your life. Because every single one of us is very unique. Every single one of us has their own path in life. And I cannot turn around and tell you, you know what, you do this, your life will be better, because you have no idea in the world what you've been through, what you've studied, what your experiences are, what your beliefs are, and what you're looking forward to going towards, right? Nobody knows. What they are doing is telling you, you know what, you come to my path, you take my direction, and I will show you the path to greatness. Yes, for them it is greatness. For you, it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's just like how when you were young, probably your parents or somebody said, you know what, that neighbor of yours is doing engineering, is doing so well in life, become an engineer. You probably are an artist, you probably are a graphic designer, something completely different, and you do engineering. It's like asking a fish to climb a tree. It's not going to work for you, right? You're going to struggle through that whole process of being an engineer, and even after being an engineer, when you're going to find a job and work, you're not going to excel in what you're doing.
Not
you're
going
doing
to feel fulfilled.
Yeah,
because ultimately all of us need to feel fulfilled.
You need to
and
be
happy.
really happy with what you're doing. And
Right.
that is what will get you excellence in whatever you're doing.
So always strive to be an influencer, because this is a creative space. This is a space where you create something that you never thought of existed.
Yeah.
When you are
And-
an influencer, you're just following the herd.
So you understand that you being an influencee are following a map laid out by an influencer, right? Basically because you don't have a map. Now, talking about maps, if you have heard, everyone in the world has something called the map of the world of their own lives. Now, it isn't something that is common for everyone. It is very unique. It is very, very different for everyone. So, just to give you an idea of the map of the world, sorry. So, say this is the map.
That side.
So this is just a rough diagram here. This is the map of the world that is there for everyone separately, uniquely for everyone. Now in this first segment here is where we identify our life, what we know for sure is our life, who we think we are, the people around us, our belief systems, all of that is here. This is our entirety of who we know we are. And what we have accomplished, what we know, if we go ahead, we'll get it done, all that stuff happens here. Now, this second segment here is a place you know that exists, is a place you've tested waters in, you've done certain things, you've accomplished certain things, but aren't very sure of that place still. Maybe I've done certain things, and maybe by fluke it has, successfully happened.
I feel I can do it.
I can do it. I
Maybe
think
I
I'm not very sure, 100% sure of it, but it's there. I can accomplish certain things over there. Then you have the third segment here, where you haven't tested waters. You haven't seen anything there, but you've seen it probably on television. You've seen people doing it. You've seen I don't know, a lot of different things happening over there in that segment that you do not feel connected to. You do not feel you can achieve it, you can get it, you can have it, you can be it. None of that comes into your mind in this third segment. It's like an aspirational space, yet not exactly aspirational. It's like, I wish I could have, I could have that,
moment,
but
it's not reachable.
it's not something that I can have. Not even at the moment. It's not something I can have. That is a space that happens over here. It's like seeing Amitabh Bachchan, for example, and saying, or a movie star, a big movie star, and saying, you know what, I can be that. Most of us can't imagine that kind of lifestyle. Imagine being a Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or anyone like that, right? You cannot imagine being the richest man in the world or richest person, woman in the world, right? It is it's an impossible thing, but it exists. But this is something that I might not be able to achieve. This is that space that we know is there, but we've not even tested waters, we've not even tried doing anything because, you know what, there's no point in it, right? So how do we get here? This is also a place where an influencer tries to tap into you, right? Both these places actually. This is a place where you buy the product to feel a little bit like this, but you know I'm not going to get there anyway. Shampoos, products, belief systems, whatever it may be. You buy to become a little bit like this, but you know somewhere deep inside, you know what, I can't get it. But to get here, you need to be an influencer yourself. Now, how will you be the influencer? Now, all of you might be thinking, what is this scribbled space here? Well, that scribbled space here is the infinite, is your infinite map that you haven't tapped into yet. Now, this is a place where it is completely left to you. It is the
blank canvas.
Artist's blank canvas, if you may call it that, of doing what you want. It is your creative space. It is the way you think you can have your life. Now, how do you get this? Every single one of us has it. It's not something that's reserved specially for certain people. No, it is there for every single one of us. This is a space where once you get a self-image boost, once you build up your self-image, the person you think you are or the person you want to be, the confidence within, right? The person I am is who I dictate I am, not what the world around me tells me I am.
What would I like to be?
Yeah, not what
I like
is sold to me.
What would I like to feel? What would I like to be?
Yeah.
And that's not dictated by your environment. That is something you dictate for yourself.
Yes, and each one of us needs to have our own script of who we are and who we want to be.
Otherwise, people will start selling their scripts to you, and we buy those scripts, and
Simple.
you're not going to be.
You're going to be an actor who doesn't know you're an actor. You're going to be enacting certain scripts that are given to you, and you have no clue that you are actually acting that out.
And you don't get paid for it too, so what's the point?
This is where we do not necessarily get influenced. Whatever is being sold to us, we can use aspects of those things that are sold to us and use it to create something very unique only for us. And I or she or anybody in the world cannot come and tell you as a person individually that you do this and this will happen. It is not going to work. It is going to be only yours. It is going to be only from your mind, your creativity, your
imagination.
Yeah, it's something that you create from your imagination. And when you talk about imagination, that's a whole different episode altogether. But if you look at a lot of people who have imagined a lot of things, look for example DC Comics or Marvel Comics or anything that has been brought up from an imaginary space. Today, if you look at it, we are actually looking at going to those places, creating things that you see in those imaginary comics or movies or whatever it is, right?
Our mobile phones are a great example.
An imagination. Yeah. It was something that was unimaginable at a particular point in time until somebody imagined it, and today it's something that's there in everyone's hand. And if you were to call somebody from the 1950s, probably they'll say, you know what, you're an alien race. So that's how imagination works. Unless and until you kick in your imagination and follow through with it, not following up with what people say about it's not possible. Now, when people say it's not possible, they're coming from their map of the world of only this much is possible. And they are functioning from this space or this space where they've seen only this much is possible, there is nothing else possible. From there, when you are creating from this space, you are able to create anything. When people actually say you can be anything in the world, you can create anything in the world, you actually can, but you have to start imagining that to be true. And that is where you become the influencer for your own life. You become the influencer and the influencee of your own life.
Not just for you, you start influencing others.
Yes. And
to create your reality.
And you don't get influenced to buy a perspective from anyone else there. You are forging your own path to where you want to go, to what you want to create, to what belief systems you want to have in your life that are going to create for you. You're not following or running behind a train that is probably going somewhere else to a different destination from where you're going, right? You are you're forging your own path. It might be a little difficult in the initial stages because it's brand new. It's something that's not been seen by you. It's not existed in your world before. So it's like walking through a jungle full of foliage where people have never traveled before. But the things you get to see, the things you get to experience through that path is unlike anything. Is something that nobody will be able to come and tell you, you know what, you do this and this is going to happen, you do this and this is going to happen. These are paths you forge yourself.
And this doesn't mean rejecting everything outright. You can take inputs from people, you can take tips from people, but ask, am I an influencee or an influencer here? Do I need this idea?
Like we said, do not outright reject something or buy something, right? Anything out there is an idea or a product, whatever it is. Look at it, see if you require it. Does it resonate with you in your world? Is it going to create more for you in your world?
So it can be a belief system, an idea,
and
an opinion.
Don't ever buy everything in its entirety, right? Look at it, study it, learn it, whatever you want to do with it. Take aspects of it that work for you, because nothing out there is completely built for you, because you're so unique. You're so custom made, so to speak, that nobody can actually make something that is mass appeal and fits right into you. You need to cut off parts of you to fit in there. So instead of doing that, shave off parts of that doesn't resonate with you and take only those that fit in with you, right? And once you have all these different aspects, all these different things you learn, knowledge you acquire, build it up together to create something that you haven't thought that was going to be possible for you in your life. This is something that is going to create an unimaginable life for every one of us. We are in that same path of trying to create a life for us, learning new things, bouncing off ideas, figuring out new ways to, create new businesses, create new ideas.
Ourselves, getting more information on what we need to do.
See, just standing here in front of the camera was an impossible thing. It was here. This was the space I was in. When you said stand in front of the camera, it's like, okay, there are enough and more people who do it. But this is not
impossible.
Me. Then from here, it suddenly became this, that maybe it is. Then it became this, like, okay, let me test the waters and see what it feels like. Then it's not yet here because we've just kind of started. So I'm moving in this direction where this is my world. So my world, this world here, has expanded to this area right now. And I keep expanding as I go ahead. And the more information I have, the more knowledge I acquire, the more I'm able to expand the person I am, the places I can go to, the ideas I can get. All of this is new, and everything new is stepping into unknown waters, so to speak, right? So always take that first step. It doesn't matter if it's going to burn you a little bit. Find another path. Find a new suit that is going to be burn proof for all you care. When I'm saying those things, I'm not talking about it literally. I'm talking about knowledge that's going to help you cross those boundaries that aren't going to, but unless you reach there, you're not going to know what you need to cross those boundaries, right? You're going to stand here, look at those and say, no, it's not going to work out. You're not going to have any clue what you need to cross these boundaries. So get to that boundary. Yeah. And then look at crossing it.
Have the courage to dream, be open to imagining, and just do it.
Yep.
You can make mistakes, it's okay. Because you are your own influencer, it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah. So Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn, and hope to see you in our upcoming episodes. In the meantime, do like and subscribe and press the bell icon for new notifications on our upcoming videos. Thank you very much for
Thank you
watching.
for watching.
Bye bye.
Bye.